Hi guys, welcome back. Here we are for episode 24 of this Retro Manchester City Save. My name is Chris, aka Big Will, and we have finally made it to the Barclays Premier League. I don't think it is actually the Barclays Premier League at this point, but I can't quite remember. But we've got a tough start to the campaign with an away game against Newcastle, who, when you look at their history, they finished 10th last time out. So there is it is going to be a tough game, I think. This is a side that has no longer got Alan Shearer, though. They sold him to AC Milan. And as you can see from our pre-season, we've had a really good run of form. We've played a number of different style of teams. Some lesser teams, of course, are in there as well, including some teams from Holland, which is where we had our pre-season camp as such. I then added a couple of games on to the end of the friendly list against Schalke and Sampdoria, and we kept 2 clean sheets there, and we did really, really well. So, like I say, in this episode, we have got this game against Newcastle. I think we might also do the home game against Aston Villa as well. We'll just see how we get on at the start of this new season. A brand new level for us. Hopefully, we can get off to a reasonable start. My target is just to hit that 40-point mark. If we get to that point, we will be staying up. That is the target from the board as well. We don't want any fight against relegation. We want to be comfortable, but we're going to have to pick up some good results along the way. So in terms of our transfer window, it's been very good so far. We've done a lot of business and we've brought in some very big names over the course of the time. So it started off with Yaya Toure confirming he came in for £1 million from the African club ASEC Mimosas. He hasn't got a work permit as of yet. I am hoping that by the end of September he will qualify for one because he is playing regular international football. We then brought in Phil Jagielka for £7.75 million from Sheffield United. We brought in Ben Foster to act as a backup goalkeeper from Stoke for 1.7 million. As you can see, we know that he's still playing in real life. He's had a really good career, and I'm hopeful that he will do the same for us. And we also brought in, who was the other person on there? David Vaughan. We brought him in from Crewe for 1.1 million, and we've loaned him out back to Crewe for until the end of the season. And in terms of outgoings, there is that loan deal for David Vaughan. We let a couple of our fringe players go as well, just for very cheap. They're out of contract at the end of the season anyway. And we've decided to sell Damien Francis to Barnsley for £1 million. He did okay, but he didn't develop in a way that I wanted him to. And we've gone out and we've signed someone far improved from that. And as you can see, Scott Parker has returned to the club on a permanent deal. We sold him for 2.7 million to Tottenham. They loaned him back to us for the remainder of the season, but he wanted to come back permanently. We signed him for £8 million. I was really happy to get that one over the line. Gareth Barry came in from Aston Villa for £10.75 million. He's actually a centre-back starting off, but he can play in that holding role in midfield as well. He's going to be a really solid option for us, and as we are aware, he did play for City in real life, so I'm really happy to have brought him in. We then brought in Chilean international Claudio Bravo. Again, he played for City in real life. Didn't have the best of careers at City in the couple of years that he was at the club, but considering the quality of him as an 18-year-old goalkeeper in game, I thought, well, he's worth a punt, to be quite honest, and hopefully he only wanted to be a backup as well, so hopefully if he needs to come into the side, he will do as good. And with a value of nearly £10 million, we signed him for 4.5. So we've got profit margins in him as well. Damien Duff was the first big signing that came in, £16 million for the left winger from Blackburn. He's worth nearly 30 million though, so we can double our money on him quite easily. Really happy to have brought him in. He was a really good player back in the day, and he did play for the likes of Chelsea as well, so he's certainly got pedigree to live up to there. And then the biggest deal of our transfer window, I'm not planning on making more signings, even though we are not quite at the end of the transfer window, but we brought in Frank Lampard from West Ham for £30 million. I mean, he's on 80 grand a week, but for a player of Lampard's quality, he was definitely worth it. He's a really good passer of the ball, and as you can see by his mental attributes and his physicals, he is a really strong candidate in that central midfield. And at the age of 23, he's not actually made a senior cap for England as of yet, but he will certainly live up to the reputation he gained in real life. In terms of outgoings, we haven't actually sold many players. John Macken went to Tranmere for £1 million. One of our reserves, Leon Mike, went for quite cheap. Daniel Van Boyten was the player I didn't want to lose. Chelsea activated a release clause, which I'd, to be quite honest, forgotten he had in his contract, and as such, he wouldn't sign a new contract once Chelsea came in for him. So he has gone to them, and I hope he does well. To be honest, he was a brilliant player for us. I'm absolutely gutted that he's left the club. But with having signed Gareth Barry, who can play centre back, I'm quite pleased to have the replacement in there. And in terms of the rest of the team, it's been loan deals really. Jamie Langfield, we brought in for 250,000 as a backup keeper last season. He's gone out on loan, as has Kennedy, Barton, and Rose. Bridge, Kumas, Caballero, Nicky Shorey, and Sturt Ellegard. They've just all gone out on loan deals. They can get some first team experience, so hopefully when they come back, they could be in with an opportunity to try and feature. So for this game against Newcastle, we are going to have a slightly new look to part of the team, but I'm really looking forward to getting it going, and we will see how we get on. So as you can see from the side, we've got Weaver in goal, Ashley Cole, Gareth Barry, Jody Craddock and Stephen Carr at the back, Frank Lampard and Danny Murphy in the midfield, with Damien Duff, Richie Humphries and Sean Wright-Phillips in the midfield three, in behind Craig Bellamy. Now Craig Bellamy, of course, I had been playing him on that left hand side, but because we've strengthened that position, he is now a good candidate to play up front. Cal Court, unfortunately, isn't fully fit, so he won't feature today, despite scoring 51 goals in 50 games for us last season. New signings, Phil Jagielka is going to be on the bench, and as you can see by the rest of the bench there, we've got a lot of good talent coming through. So I'm hopeful that this season we'll give good account of ourselves and get some good results and be safe come the end of the season from relegation. Newcastle have already beaten us in this save. It was very early in the save, of course, and Alan Shearer did all the damage then. They haven't got Shearer now, so hopefully we can at least be competitive against Newcastle here. We've got a really good side now. The only issue that we've potentially got is the fact that unfortunately our squad is quite young, so there's not a lot of experience in there, but hopefully we can do well. So the game is now underway here at St James's Park. Hopefully, like I say, we can get a good result. The fact that there's no highlights early on states that we are holding our own a little bit early on here. Moles with the delivery. Jamie Carragher wins the header but couldn't get it in, and Newcastle have the first big opportunity. Gareth Barry to Jody Craddock. Danny Murphy looks over the top here for Damien Duff, and Sendon did well to win it, but Ashley Cole's got onto it. Plays it down the left hand side. Duff may have been offside there, but he's still got possession. Tries to play it in, and Sendon looks set to clear. Carragher gets it away in the end. But a really well worked move, but we're looking strong. We're working hard trying to win the ball back here as well. But Newcastle are moving the ball superbly, and they've got it out wide here to Romero. Into Moles now. He has support ahead of him, but plays it back to Maric. Now Van der Paar. Romero again. Ashley Cole's committed himself to the challenge, and he's been beaten here by Romero. Here he comes down this right hand side for Newcastle. Whips it into Rushfeldt, and it's just over the bar. Good chance there for Newcastle. And they move the ball really well at the back there. We've certainly got to get used to the pace of the Premier League for sure, and we've really got to pick ourselves up as the season goes on. It's a tough start to have really against a side like Newcastle. They do work very hard at this point, and we've got a lot of work to do. And this is Frank Lampard, plays it over the top for Damien Duff, and Damien Duff has scored on his Manchester City debut. Really good finish there. Get in there, Damien Duff. Great start for his Manchester City career in game now. 1-0, and we've certainly got something to hold on to here. I wasn't expecting a win at St James's Park. I'd have been perfectly happy with a draw. And with 20 minutes gone, we're looking reasonable as Kevin Hoffland does equalise from a set piece. We haven't held on to the lead for long, and this is something that we have got to work on, because this is something we did in the first division. We need to be solid defensively, especially after we've scored. So we'll have to keep tabs on that as the season goes as well. Sean Wright-Phillips to Stephen Carr over the top, and Craig Bellamy's there, and it's only just wide. I thought Shay-Given may have got a touch onto it, but not quite, and it remains one apiece. Hoffland into Maric, plays it back to Gray. Now Hoffland again. Maric into Rushfeld, back to Gray again. Looking over the top here, Gary Speed down this left-hand side for Newcastle. Wright-Phillips trying to slow him down, but it's back to Gray, and he plays it in, and it's just wide from Rushfeld. We need to be a bit stronger here defensively. They are creating plenty of chances from the wings. We're creating some good chances as well, though, but both sides have only had the one shot on target, which both sides have scored, so in terms of conversion rate, it is looking quite promising for us, but we're not having a lot of possession either, so we need to start controlling the game a little bit more if possible. Gareth Barry knocks it out to Sean Wright-Phillips. He looks to cut inside here and he shoots from distance into the penalty area, but it's just wide of the far post. Shay-Given into Jamie Carragher. This is Sendon now. Romero holds on to it well, plays it back to Van der Paar. Now Jamie Carragher into Maric. Now Sendon. Jamie Carragher again into Romero. They're working the ball well on that right hand side, Newcastle at the moment. Maric plays it all the way back in the end to Shay-Given, who just lays it off to Hoffland. Now Maric. We have got players forward here. We are trying to keep them under pressure, but if they beat that trap, which they have done here, if Moles wins it, Gareth Barry does superbly. Damien Duff to Humphreys. Now Frank Lampard. That's a brilliant ball over the top from Frank Lampard. Sean Wright-Phillips now with the delivery, and it's poor. Hoffland with an easy clearance. Gareth Barry does well to win it again, though. Now Stephen Carr looking over the top for Damien Duff. It's cleared away, but only as far as Humphreys, and it's bundled. It's just bobbled away past the post, and it remains 1-1. Danny Murphy with a free kick here, plays it in. This is Jody Craddock's header, and Shay-Given makes a decent save there. It remains 1-1 as we approach half-time. I hope it stays at 1-0 for half-time, to be honest. It gives us something to build on for sure. And Craig Bellamy's just making a nuisance of himself up front there. Gareth Barry. Lampard. Gareth Barry couldn't quite beat Rushfeld, but it's worked its way to Ashley Cole. Brilliant run from Damien Duff, and Ashley Cole's found him over the top here. Damien Duff into the penalty area. He's hit the post. So unlucky there for Damien Duff. He's having a really good debut so far, and it's 1-1 at half-time. Really positive start, I think, to be honest. I'm quite happy with the way things are going. Bellamy's been very quiet up front, though, but we do have options on the bench with Andy Johnson and Kevin Davis, so hopefully we can continue to push on and give maybe one or two of these other backup players an opportunity here, because it is going to be a squad game this season for sure. We've got to keep players rotated, and we've got to work very hard this campaign, especially in the Cups. I think we need to do a lot better in the Cups. We keep losing in the third round of the FA Cup, and it's something that is bugging me personally, to be quite honest. We need to be better in the cup competitions. The Coca-Cola Cup, I can't really complain the last couple of seasons, as Rushfeld comes in for Newcastle, and Rushfeld scores. It's 2-1 here at St James's Park, and Newcastle have a lead now. That's very disappointing the way we conceded that goal, but this is the difference in quality in the Premier League. Teams in the First Division might not be converting that chance, whereas in the Premier League they will be doing so. But as you can see, we are creating a lot of chances, but we're just not getting a lot of shots on target at the moment. Damien Duff, of course, with his first goal for the club. I'm really pleased that he started off quite well. He is struggling for fitness here, so Craig Bellamy's going to move out wide left, and I think we'll bring Kevin Davis on up front. We're going to take Richie Humphreys off as well. I think we're going to push Danny Murphy up a little bit, and we're going to bring Michael Carrick on in central midfield to partner Frank Lampard. Jody Craddock is on a yellow card, so we're going to bring Phil Jagielka on for his debut as well. We're going to leave it at that for now. And with 20 minutes to go, Newcastle are on the ascendancy a little bit in terms of chances. Lampard's taken a knock, so Michael Brown is potentially going to have to come on for him. Last thing we need is our key star signing of this summer transfer window to be injured long term. This is Romero charging down the right hand side though for Newcastle. He's looking to whip it into the penalty area toward Gary Speed, and it's off the crossbar. Ashley Cole manages to get it away, but it's only as far as Sendon. Unfortunately, nothing comes of it after that, and everything will finish off with there. So with 10 minutes to go, Lampard is going to come off because, like I say, he has had that little knock. And I think what we're going to do, we're going to move Kevin Davis back to right wing. Sean Phillips is going to come off. And we're going to bring Andy Johnson on. He's got a good amount of pace, Andy Johnson, so hopefully he can at least get one opportunity in behind, and we will be able to just create something. We are going to demand a little bit more as the game comes towards an end. I can't imagine anything's going to happen in added time. I'm reasonably pleased with the way we've played, but we need to control possession a lot more. We've had a number of chances, but only 2 shots on target is not good enough. We need to be looking a lot better than that. So, a bit of a disappointing defeat in the end, but I'm going to just allow the boys that little bit of leeway. We've only just come into the Premier League, and it is going to take a little bit of time to get used to how things are played in this league, really. So, we'll see how we get on. So, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to play a little bit off camera and get to that Aston Villa game, and then hopefully we will come back for that game and we can get a good little bit of a result in that one just to give us a little bit of a confidence boost. Okay guys, here we go for this home game against Aston Villa. There's nothing happening in the transfer window at the moment. We are getting a number of offers in for Peter Crouch, but at the moment we don't want to sell him unless we get a really big offer in for him, because he will come good in the future. The only player that we're looking at bringing in as it stands is Martin Petrov, the Bulgarian left winger who did play for City for quite a number of years. He will come in as a backup to Damien Duff on that left hand side, with view to him becoming a key player should um, should Duff leave eventually. So that could be a really good backup option for us, and he'd be signing for around £2.5 million. So I'm really happy with the finances involved on that deal. If we can get it over the line, he will go back on loan at Servette, who's the team that we're signing him from, until the end of the season as well. Anyway, for this game at home to Villa, we've got Weaver in goal, Ashley Cole, Gareth Barry, Jody Craddock and Mark Smith at the back, Danny Murphy and Frank Lampard, the midfield pair, with Damien Duff, Richie Humphries, Kevin Davis in behind the returning Carl Court. I felt a little bit for Bellamy, to be honest. He didn't get a lot of action in the game against Newcastle. He really struggled. But hopefully, because we've got Carl Court in there, he's a lot more physical, and hopefully he can put himself about a bit here for this game against Aston Villa, who are managed by Kenny Dalglish. And their squad, for the most part, is an ageing one, but they're playing well. They won the FA Cup in game last season, so there's certainly things to take note of there. We're at home against Villa as well, so I think for us to do well this campaign, we've got to do well in our home games, and if we can get anything out of this game today, I will be quite happy. It's very early in the season, but anything is a positive at this stage, just when we're starting out. And now Frank Lampard looks out wide to Kevin Davis. He does well, holds on to it well, Kevin Davis. Back into Frank Lampard. Mark Smith made a good run beyond on that right hand side, and he's played it into Richie Humphries, who got there first ahead of the keeper, and he managed to get the shot past the keeper as well, but he's put it just wide. Really unlucky there, but a positive start nonetheless from our point of view. 3 attempts so far, none on target. Aston Villa have yet to have an opportunity, but that could change here with Galasek, and he plays it over the top here for Murat, and Weaver makes a comfortable save. The shot was straight at him, fortunately, so we did okay. Weaver just holding on to it a little bit, looks for the delivery forward, and Damien Duff almost got onto it. How he manages to get there. Cal Court does well, but couldn't find Kevin Davis. Labant into Tsiatis. Tsiatis moving down that left-hand side now. He was under pressure, but no one made the challenge, and it's played in, and Dion Dublin scores. He's quite the big man in the centre, Dion Dublin, so we've got to be careful defensively, but he's punished us already, and it is 1-0 to Aston Villa. See, this is the difference. They've had 3 shots and all of them on target. We've had 3 shots, none on target. We've really got to be clinical this season if we want to stay in the Premier League. As such, since the goal, there's not actually been many highlights so far. In terms of possession, we're looking a little bit stronger with the ball in this game than we did against Newcastle. And as you can see, we are actually creating chances now, but nothing worthy of note so far. Chelsea there, won 3-0 against Arsenal despite a 21st minute red card. Here's Damien Duff on this left-hand side for City now. Danny Murphy into Richie Humphries, who looks over the top. Kevin Davies briefly made the run, but decided to check it. Mark Smith does well, though, to find Kevin Davies on the right-hand side. Puts the ball into the penalty area. It's come for Damien Duff at the far post. I hope he's not offside, but it looks like it's going to be 2 goals in 2 games for Duff. VAR are having a look at it here. Come on, give the goal. Goal has been awarded. Brilliant stuff. We're level again. Damien Duff having a really good start to his City career. 2 goals in 2 games for him. And we need to be on point now defensively because, like I say, it's an old age saying really in football. You're at your most vulnerable when you've scored, and we've really got to pay attention to what's happening now. Watson into Galashek, into Ayala. Back out wide to Watson. Now Lee Hendry. Inside to Galasek again. Back to Ayala. And now Watson at right back. Now Hendry again. Into Morat. They're holding on to the ball so well here. And we've not got near them. And Tissiatas is wide. Barry does well to clear. Good awareness from Gareth Barry that time. And Hopkin holds on now to find Labant. It's still Aston Villa in possession. And Morat's in the centre. And Morat has scored. And once again, as soon as we score a goal, we concede. There's a hint of offside apparently. VAR are checking again. And it's actually been disallowed, so it remains 1-1, and we've gotten away with that. But once again, defensively, after we've scored, we need to be more aware. The fact that Craddock, he got a yellow card in the first game, and he's got an early booking in this one as well. We've got to be very careful with him as well. Damien Duff loses out to Watson. Now Lee Hendry. Duff does well to win it off Hendry, but he couldn't win it off Watson as well. Ayala, under pressure by Kyle Court. Ed De Hoy, into Steve Howard. Galashek. Looks wide, Tissiatas gets onto it, finds Dion Dublin, but Lampard does well. Now Richie Humphries. Damien Duff plays it to Ashley Cole, back into Damien Duff now, down this left-hand side. It's Damien Duff, looks to switch the play. Lampard in, and it's Richie Humphries, and it's just over the crossbar. It was a reasonably well-worked move in the end from City there, but it just couldn't quite come to fruition with the final product. Gareth Barry here, obviously against his former club today. And now Damien Duff, left-hand side, keeps it in just, manages to get the ball in. Humphries, Kyle Court, brilliant finish, 2-1. And Kyle Court is starting the season, where he left off last season. His finishing is superb at the moment. He's done really, really well. And he has his first goal of the season as we approach half-time. We have a 2-1 lead here against Aston Villa. There's 1 minute to half-time. We've got another highlight coming through. It's Mark Smith into Humphries. Danny Murphy now has support over the top and finds it with Damien Duff, who does well with the control. And it's fallen for Calcourt, but Ed De Hoy with a comfortable save. I don't think Calcourt could quite get enough control on the ball there. But the highlights continue here. And Kevin Davies has lost out to Tissiatas. It's a very bad challenge from what the reports are reading at the bottom. And he's received a straight red card here. Villa are down to 10 men. We have a 2-1 lead, and hopefully this could be a really good sign for 3 points. We need to stay focused in this game. Just because the opposition are down to 10 men does not mean that we're safe in this game. But what a start this could be for our home form if we can get 3 points here against a side such as Aston Villa, who, like I say, they won the FA Cup last season. I think it was last season, might have been the season before, but they have been winning trophies, so we've really got to be on point. We can't afford to rest on this. And we are dominating the game now in terms of chances, but possession-wise, Villa have been far better. We are going to look at making a couple of changes, I think, here. So Humphries is going to come off, and we're going to bring Craig Bellamy on, I think. Ashley Cole is on a yellow card, but we don't actually have a left back on the bench. Jody Craddock we're going to bring off, and we're going to bring Phil Jagielka on once again. We can't afford to risk with the yellow cards, unfortunately. And Lampard is struggling for his fitness a little bit as well. So once again, we're going to bring Michael Carrick on in there, just to shore things up a little bit, I think. And we're going to switch in with Danny Murphy, I think, as well. And hopefully that will see us right for a little while. We've just had an opportunity there, judging by that, and I do apologise. I should have paused the game before we made the changes there. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to change that to the stats, because then I can keep an eye on the players as well. Ashley Cole has had a poor game. He's only rating a 6.4, but like I say, we haven't actually got a left back on the bench at the minute, so we've got to be on point. Um, and we've got a number of other players that are struggling for fitness in this game now, but it is a lot more intense in the Premier League, so we've really got to keep working hard. Sean Wright Phillips is going to come on for Kevin Davis on that wide right. Cal Court has only just come back to fitness, but he has got his goal today. We're going to bring Danny Mills on for Ashley Cole at left back. He can play left back. Danny Mills is the same position, of course, as right back, but obviously it's just the other side. So hopefully he will see the game out in that position once this highlight is finished. With Mark Smith now looking for Kevin Davis, and Kevin Davis has beaten Labant to the ball and played it into Cal Court. It's 3-1. There was a hint of offside, I think, but I think it's going to be given regardless. And Cal Court has put us 3-1 up here. Yes, we'll proceed with the tactical changes. And we are heading in the right direction for 3 points here. It's a 3-1 victory by the looks of things as it stands now. There's 5 minutes left in the game. We've done really well despite, obviously they went down to 10 men. But the fact that we've taken advantage of it is a good sign in itself. And as I said previously, we've got to win our home games to have a chance of staying in the Premier League. We've done really well today. A 3-1 victory. Cal Court back with 2 goals and a really solid performance overall there. Really happy with that. And we've got something to build on now. In a league such as the Premier League, it's important to have that little bit of a catalyst just to allow you to build and move yourself up a little bit. And we've made a positive start despite the defeat on the opening day against Newcastle. Hopefully that will allow us to build and move forward in the right direction now. So I'm just going to have a quick look at the fixture list now, and I think what we'll probably, we've got Manchester United right at the very start of September. Let's have a look. Yeah, we've got to come back for the Manchester derby in the Premier League, haven't we? We'll probably do Manchester United for sure. If we get through in the Coca-Cola Cup against Plymouth, we might have another game appear in this fixture list. So we'll definitely be there at Main Road for the Manchester derby, plus potentially a cup tie if we beat Plymouth. Well guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I do apologise if I've been a bit stuttery in this. It's the first video that I've had with me being on screen, and I'll be honest, I was a little bit nervous. But hopefully you've enjoyed the video, and please like and subscribe. It's really helpful, and I really enjoy making this content for you guys at the moment. All your support is greatly appreciated. So like I say, we'll be back for the Manchester derby plus a other game, and hopefully I will see you all next time. This is Big Will signing away.